Morris Knight here on Soundwaves TV, hanging out with Shaun Bivens, my man, in the studio here at Soundwaves. And this is very, very special because a few weeks ago, Shaun sent me, like an early release, if you will, of a brand new project that he just finished. It's available right now, right?
Yep.
The album is called Blue Tears.
Yes, EP.
The EP is called Blue Tears from Blackstone Funk Revival. Yeah. And Shaun is all over the map when it comes to his musical endeavors. I mean, one minute he's doing the throwback hip hop, the next minute he's doing the rock and roll quarter blood technique.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the Blackstone Funk Revival, and I mean, you guys have been lighting up the Bay Area, for years now.
Yeah.
And so this is a brand new project that you just released. A lot of original stuff on it. Yeah. So one day, not too long ago, just maybe a week or two ago, Shaun sends me it to listen to, and what you think of it, man? And so I listened to it, and I'm so blown away that, when someone sends you the music, you want to give them a heartfelt, critique or review, if you will. I'm a guy that likes to talk to people because I'm a musician as well, and I like to hear it in real time, the feedback, good or bad.
Thanks.
I was so impressed with what you did, though, man, that I was like, Shaun, I got the EP, man. And I like it, and that's all I can say about it right now. Because I think it would be much better served if you and I were able to just kind of sit down and talk about it and let the folks know about this brand new release of yours. It is amazing. It is very much,
God bless you, brother.
It completely reminds me of 1984 to 1985, maybe a little earlier, of that Minneapolis sound. And you guys have already been kind of doing some of that stuff, but this one right here nails it on a whole other level. And do you remember what you told me when I asked you, one of the questions that I asked you was, what was your inspiration for doing this? Why did you do this? Because it's so badass.
I don't remember what I said.
You said you were bored. You see, most of the time, the idle mind is the devil's playground. But when Shaun's mind goes idle, it goes crazy, and it gets real funky, and it gets real purple.
I did say that. I did say that.
Tell me about the first song from this album that spawned the rest of them, man. I mean, when you realize you were,
I did the Blue Tears one. I did the Blue Tears track first because I was like, damn, it's been almost 5 years since the Blackstone Funk Revival put out anything.
Okay, yeah, it's been a minute.
So I was like, you know what? I should probably do something, And I had a bunch of little skeleton ideas, how it is. You'll maybe get a drum track down and a bass line down, and then you'll be like, I'm not feeling it. And you might get a guitar line down and some percussion down, and you'll be like, I'm not finished it. But I had these few ideas. I was like, okay, I'm going to finish at least 4 songs. I ended up with 5. And, like I was telling you before, I said, as a kid, high school, I was like, okay, if I ever got signed to Paisley Park.
Yes, the dreams.
What would the record sound like? What would the record sound like?
I remember those days, man.
And I was like, all right.
I actually got an award in my mind at the American Music Awards. I wrote out the entire thank you because I dreamt that Prince had picked me up and put me on Paisley Park. So I still have it somewhere.
You got your speech already? You got your speech written?
The whole speech is written. I'm sorry.
That's crazy. Oh yeah. So yeah, I figured, we made a lot of headway in the last, 4 or 5 years. We finally got the right guys for the band. So I said, okay, and we've been doing some shows. We've been, getting some pretty good gigs, opening for Stokely and a few other people where, things are starting to bubble. People are starting to talk about it. But we did this one ballad, which is the single in the video, and we play that at the end of the show. Nobody ever really closes with a ballad,
right?
But this is a song that allows me and the other guitar player to really stretch out and burn for me. Right?
Yeah, which is amazing. You guys are awesome musicians, just straight up.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
God bless you, bro.
Yeah.
So I said, people kept coming up afterwards. Hey, what about that? When is that song going to be out? When's that song going to be out? When's that song going to be out? And we're like, you know what?
Maybe.
When do we? I think it's been like a couple years.
I mean, the slow jam. The name of that one.
Maybe I'll forget you.
Maybe I'll forget you. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, well, I don't want to put out just a single because it's been like almost 5 years. So let me put out some songs, and we got the EP together and just dropped it on it. Today it dropped. So New York time, Sony's in New York. So midnight it dropped.
Badass, dude.
So 9 o'clock, midnight there.
Dude, it's so awesome to hear it. Now, is this all you, Shaun, or do you have the guys from the band that are also contributing to what we're hearing on this album?
Yeah, sometimes they'll throw ideas out there, but this one I went ham on it.
Straight up. So everything we're hearing is you in the studio.
Yeah, because everybody's got their jobs and stuff, and it's really hard to get guys to come all the way to me. So sure. I just went in and banged it.
Wow, man, that's amazing. I mean, it keeps getting more and more levels of Prince here.
I was bored.
What am I gonna mess with next?
That's right.
No one's using that keyboard.
Right.
I love this album, man, because while it is very, very, you really hear the Minneapolis sound come through in every way on it. From the songwriting to your arrangements to even your performance. But one of my favorite things about it is that it's not Prince. If anything, it's at the very least, you should have been the very next protege. Before Jesse Johnson, before Andre Simone. I mean, Shaun should have been right there, because this is actually, and I think I did tell you this. This here is the album that I wish Prince would have released right after Purple Rain. It just seemed like, because by the time
go back to that,
because I mean, man, we were so stoked, we were so jamming on Controversy, on Dirty Mind, on 1999 is my favorite, because it's just such a stream of consciousness. It's just he found himself in a groove, and I just thought that so Purple Rain comes out and he stretches out just a little bit, especially when he opens with Let's Go Crazy. But I was hoping that the follow-up album would be what you did. Which is just amazing. The 6 songs that are on there, how did you come about, writing those from the first one to the last one, because they all have their own little theme. They all seem to have their own little piece of that Minneapolis sound.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I mean, and that was the reason that, me and my drummer, Tony Providence, we were like, we're going to do a project that sounds like that, but that is not like that. Because even like, when you talk about Jesse Johnson, all those guys, which we love that guy, man. He's awesome. He posted some of our videos and stuff.
Oh, badass, dude.
But no one, even those guys, even when it comes to the time, they're not really, they've kind of all took off and went in different directions and kind of left that sound.
Yeah.
So there was a big void in that sound. And all the, you can only listen to Dirty Mind so many times. You got to give yourself a year or two break, right?
Right.
And
That's
come back
so
to it.
true.
So I was
That's so true.
Man, let's make a record that sounds like that, but is not that. First off, I can't sing anywhere near like that dude. So
but you did a damn good job though, Shaun. I couldn't do. I'm trying to sing along with some of the falsettos that you're doing in that, and I'm like, you nailed it, man. And you still sound like you though.
Yeah. Like I said, I wanted to make it sound like this. If we had a deal inked with Paisley Park, this is the record we turn in, and and that's how it came about.
Man, I gotta say, it. When I first heard it, I had to listen to it a couple of times because I was like, wow. I started thinking that I was hearing other songs within those songs, and they're all just so concise. They're all just so complete, and I love the way I don't know if you know about Prince's fan club out here, Bay NPG or whatever.
Sure.
Have they heard this yet? They're gonna eat this up when when those folks hear this. It's gonna be like bonkers.
Yeah, I've given it to a couple of key people over there, just like we did the last time. But so they'll get it, they'll understand it, and they've been really receptive. That whole crowd has been really receptive. Even some of the people within the Prince camp. I mean, we had Dr. Fink play a solo on the first record. So they've been really receptive.
Which is extremely cool. You can't just float that out there, like you didn't say what you just said. That's badass, man. Wish I had Dr. Fink play something on one of my tracks like that. That's dope, man.
Man, that's like my high school self is like losing it, Sure. As I'm listening to that, I'm like, oh, this sounds like the head solo.
Man, so tell the viewers how that came about. How did you connect with Matt Fink like that? Yeah. It's like, oh my God, and get him on your record.
My drummer, my drummer played with them, and another. I'm trying to think of the other cat that we used to play with, John Payne, good buddy of mine too. So they played, and John ended up playing with the Revolution.
Okay.
And Tony ended up playing with them, and they did a few shows, so they became friends.
Cool.
So when we decided to do this project. then he was like, listen to these few songs we have. It had the original version has a guitar solo on it.
Okay.
Right. And that came out with the record. But then like a year later, we did the remix and it had him do the solo on it. And he just sent us back, I'm doing a Pro Tools thing
right. I can see the file.
It's like this long, this much solo.
I get it. The whole screen.
And he was like, just chop it up, do what you want with it. And I mean, it's like hearing like Yngwie Malmsteen on the synthesizer.
Just going crazy.
Just going ape. I couldn't even use it all. I could only, because 8 bars is all we had.
The solo that he did on When Doves Cry is amazing. And so when I think about what you're saying, I was like, how, and you've got that much to work with.
Man. So you're listening to somebody who you listened to as a kid,
right?
Do his thing.
Yeah,
and it's still at
and you're still
ultra high level.
You're still such a nice guy about it, Shaun. Like if I were able to walk around saying that I put Matt Finkel in Americas, I'm gonna have attitude. I'm gonna be a low key unapproachable.
Stop answering my phone.
You know what I'm saying? Get with my people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he was really cool about it, and he did it like within like a day.
Wow.
Like shot it to him, and he was just like did it. Like, he has his home studio just.
There's a guy who still absolutely loves what he's doing.
Absolutely.
Like yourself, though, man. Yeah. I mean, when you in your free time, this is what you're doing in your free time. Yeah. What if I don't know, Shaun? What if you ended up hitting the lottery one day or something like that, man? How big does it get?
I keep going.
Yeah,
the money, and then I can promote it more.
Right. That's what it's all about.
I can do more stuff, and I can get it out to more people. And because look, this is what keeps us young. Yeah, this is what
keeps us alive.
Keeps us alive. Yeah. Keeps us from choking people.
Right, for real though, right?
Yeah.
Especially in this day and age.
God number one, but music second, because otherwise I'd choke a lot of people.
Right.
I'd have been choking
just for no reason.
I didn't even like the freaking Bay Area Strangler. Right. I was in Safeway the other day. I was like, somebody gonna get choked.
Shaun, that's a lady. Shaun's a little old lady.
And it was. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What happened, man? That's hilarious.
Man,
what happened?
I can't even say this. Some people will say stuff to you that is just like, like so overtly, like, she was like, I'll take you and put you in the back of the car, young man. I was like,
wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. I'm leaving.
Oh my gosh. You got to know when to say when.
Yeah.
I hear this album doing some great things, man. And one of my favorite things about it is I think that, I don't know, Shaun, I've been talking about this with a lot of friends. Is it just us, or there seems to be this real big push of an entire 80s revival?
Absolutely.
Where it's becoming so big that young kids are digging it and don't even know.
They don't know.
That it's a throwback sound, if you
Listen
will.
to The Weeknd.
Okay, yeah.
Listen to his last 2 projects.
Straight up
minor chord, triangle minor chords using the same Juno 106s and the Oberheims. Same thing we're doing.
Taylor Swift did some of that.
Everybody's got a synth pop song on their record, or like Weeknd.
Dua Lipa sampling NXS.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And the young kids don't even know.
No,
but
they think it's new.
But they love it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think what you've done here is just another example of what younger people can really gravitate to. I think the major labels and the major corporate radio stations and all that aren't giving the listening public enough credit about what they can consume and what they'll fall in love with. It's like, excuse me, we've done this before. We've been here before with these songs, and a lot of the things that you'll hear them say is, "Oh, it doesn't really test well." Well, there was a time when these songs were spank brand new back in the day, and no one knew them, and we fell in love with them. And that's what I'm hoping that we can get a lot of ears on your project, man.
Hopefully, man.
I think that's all it would take. You've got the kind of project that people can really, really fall in love with.
Right on.
I was like, listen to this, man. What's your favorite song on the EP? It's 6 songs.
It's probably the ballad, man. It's probably like, it's not really, well, it is a ballad. It's a groove ballad, as we used to say. Mm-hmm. So probably that one.
I keep thinking that I'm going to pick the first one, or I'm going to pick the last one. Yeah. The last one, I was singing it when we walked in.
Oh yeah. That's my jam too. I like that.
Because that one right there reminds me most of Dirty Mind. For some
Absolutely.
reason. Very, when you're reminded.
On purpose.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'll listen to a couple of records, and I'll be like, I need a. What if Prince had on how many tracks is on Controversy?
Controversy is 9 tracks, I believe.
So what would track 10 sound like? on this record.
Wow.
And then I approach it with that thought.
Yeah, so Prince did that, and those became B-sides, but they sounded like B-sides.
Right.
Yours don't sound like that.
I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make everything not suck.
Well, you did. Congratulations, my man. You did a great job on that. Nothing sucks at all.
Which is not easy. Sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
If I let you hear all the stuff that didn't get on there, you'd be like, "Oh, trash right here."
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know if Shaun can make trash. I don't know if that's because at the very end of the day, you and your crew are awesome musicians, man.
I got some bad cats with me, man. I'm very blessed, man. I mean, God's blessed me with some.
Are all these guys? And feel free to shout them out. Are all these guys local?
Yeah. Well,
they all live here in the Bay.
Yeah, in the Bay. Yeah.
Because sometimes you look around, as a musician, and you're like, where are they at? Or you go to one scene and you only see one section of one scene.
Yeah.
And not anyone else that's kind of representing that.
Yeah, we got Christian is over in Vallejo, and then Kenny. Where is Kenny? Bass player. He's in Hayward, so he's from my old hood, and then Derek, I think, is in Hayward. Tony's in San Leandro. Shaun is in South City. So everybody is like, not far away.
That's cool, man.
So,
and then of course, what you guys do, especially on stage, is so tight. It's so on it. So you guys are rehearsing a lot, right?
No.
Well, No. Well, that's because you guys have been together for so long, then, right?
No.
And you just know each other's steps.
No. These dudes are pros.
That's. Again, Minneapolis choreography. It's like it's funny. I'll try and do some of that sometimes. I can't tell you.
No, these dudes are pros. We don't need to practice that much. After we did like the first 4 or 5 shows, you kind of get it. You kind of get muscle memory a little bit.
Yeah.
But we do have to. We will go in. We'll practice like 4 times before a gig, and then that's where it's because I was the type of kid. I have to study right before the test.
Yeah.
If I study too far over here, it'll be gone.
It'll leak right out.
So it's the best way
all
to do it.
All the holes in my head.
That's right. Exactly.
So
yeah, we just get together and jam like 3 or 4 times before a gig. And then
do you guys? I'm sure you guys have a performance schedule coming up for this release, right?
We haven't set it yet, but we're gonna do a little party. We need to.
Do you need like a legit? Record release party.
Yeah. So we have some offers. So we're gonna see what fishes out, and we're gonna do the whole night. We're gonna have a DJ, and he's gonna play some of that era, that sound that we love that came out of Minneapolis, and then we'll perform at the end of the night, and we'll
I also DJ, right? Just thought I'd put that out there.
Oh yeah. Come get down. Come get down, man.
I can do it, man. I can do it.
Yeah. Because we definitely have more than one DJ.
This is 6 songs for you, Shaun. I mean, like, do you see yourself making another album or turning this EP into a full album?
Yeah. Because I do have like 2 songs that I like that go perfectly with it. Mm-hmm. So eventually,
you just couldn't wait to get this.
Yeah, let's get it out now. It's been like 5 years.
This has taken you 5 years to create this
project? No. I'm just saying it's been 5 years since Blackstone Music came out.
Right.
So I was like, people were like,
Ever the busy Shaun B.
Man, I keep it popping.
You do, man. You do. Where do you find the time to do it all, man? Because this is just one of your many projects.
Yeah, I own a studio. I have a studio. So I've always been a record producer guy. I've been doing that ever since I was a kid, producing records for all types of labels and stuff like that. So I'm always writing and producing, or I'm always, in my phone.
Oh yeah.
I'm always putting stuff on my phone so that I can get to it later.
Yeah.
If we go through my phone, man, it's just like my little messages to myself is just crazy.
Right.
You wouldn't make any sense of it.
Right.
But it's just ideas after ideas, and I just try to build on those ideas.
And then, of course, back in the day before we had the phones, we had the little mini tape recorders that we would keep with us,
the big cassette ones.
Yeah.
Press
the flat ones, that we had when we were little kids.
Yeah, you have to pop up the little sunroof.
Yep.
With the tape in there.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
That's awesome. Shaun, I wanted to take this moment, man, to once again, congratulate you, man, on this release.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
amazing what you've done with these songs here. When you sent them to me, and then I called you to tell you what I thought of them, I was like, this is. Yeah, I'd rather put it on a much bigger platform. So that's why we have you here at Soundwaves today, man, to just let the world know that Blackstone Funk Revival is funking up the place in the hue of purple no one ever else could. I went and looked at some of your videos. By the way, the video's awesome.
Thank you, sir.
You're gonna check that out during this interview.
Shout
as
out
well.
to Danny Dillman, man. He did a great job.
You guys look amazing. I want to look like that.
You're getting rid of them wrinkles on that, in that post.
For real. Yeah.
Oh, that's gone. That's beautiful.
How'd you do that, my friend?
Magique.
Where is the tip jar?
That's right.
That's good stuff, man. When you so some of the other performance videos that I saw of you guys as well. You guys do a lot of shows with Prince tribute bands.
Yeah.
Is that the tiniest bit awkward because, and no disrespect to anyone, but you guys always tend to upstage him a tad. That's putting it. I'm trying to be nice.
No. I think what it is. I think people with us, it works perfect because we're kind of like more like Jesse and the Time, and they're doing Prince songs. We do some Prince songs live, but we'll do B-sides and stuff.
Okay.
We'll do stuff that a lot of people, we'll do 100 miles an hour. We'll throw in some Jesse Johnson. We'll throw in some Time. So, and then of course we do a lot of originals.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense. And it's usually, everyone we play with.
It does make perfect sense.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is you guys end up sounding, looking, feeling better, if you will. Okay, maybe what I'm saying is, I'm being, hypercritical here, but I'll see someone trying to be Prince.
Right.
That's so hard, man. That's
so hard. Who can do that? Who can do that? That's just
only one dude.
Yeah.
Only
so
one
it's
dude.
like, you're going there when you're seeing these bands, you're going there just to hear the music.
Yeah.
Some of these bands are really good at presenting it and bringing it, bringing it to life.
Yeah.
Some not as much.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we've been only with the dudes that could put it down pretty dope.
Yeah.
I watch the shows after.
Yeah.
I'm like, that sounds good. But I wouldn't want to do it.
Right.
Because
there's a lot that goes into it. Trying to, when you're, the huge Prince fans that we are, when you see these guys up there trying to emulate Prince like that.
Yeah.
The nuance is so. It's got to be so tight because we're checking for.
We're listening for every note in the guitar solo.
Yeah,
we're listening for every chord.
Yeah.
every patch on the synthesizer has to be just. Yeah, it's yeah.
You know what? Speaking of sounds, I love how not just the compositions themselves and the arrangement, but the sounds. Shaun, how'd you? I remember reading an article, and I'm not sure this is the actual technical description or term for this sound, but he called it Prince's signature pancake snare sound. That shop. How were you able to get that sound? All the sounds are straight up out of that era.
Is
it just one keyboard? Is it a few different keyboards? How did you capture that sound all the way down to the patches?
A lot of the stuff you just
Don't tell me you actually have a Lynn drum.
Yeah. No, not anymore. No.
Anymore? You had one at one time?
I used to have the sequential version, which is basically they use the same EPROMs as the Lynn drum.
Okay.
So it's exactly the same as a Lynn drum, except for a couple of little
thing.
So I sample all these drum machines and stuff I've had over the years. I've had the 909s, the 808s, everything. So I've sampled all these things over the years. And then the patches that I get for synthesizers, I have the modern equivalents of an Oberheim, OB8, OBX, OBXA, or whatever.
Right.
And over the 35 years, I've compiled all this stuff. And now, you can make it sound really, really close to the real thing. Only thing that would limit it is that when you listen to a record that came from that era is, this, which is called tape saturation. So you're not going to really get the tape saturation. So you're not going to get
there's a thickness to it. There's a depthness to it.
And a compression that goes to it.
Yeah.
So you got to kind of find ways to fake that. And I figured out ways to kind of fake that.
And you did.
You fake it.
Yeah. You nailed it. Every single sound I'm hearing is like, did he go to Paisley Park and steal all of Prince's music?
Yeah.
Equipment?
We jacked them.
It's like, who was in there? And next time, take me with you.
Right. Let's go. That would be great to really record on some of that old analog gear. When I first started doing this, that's what we did.
Yeah.
We recorded on 2-inch tape and and some Studer machines, some old.
There's something about that sound, man. That they've made things. Technology and music production has gone such a long way that I don't know, Shaun. Is it just me, or have they almost gone too far? I'm hearing it too clean.
Well, yeah, it's too perfect.
Too perfect.
Yes.
Like if I'm seeing a WAV file, it literally looks like a brick.
Yeah, and it's too maxed out. There's in modern mastering, everything is just bang to the wall. They don't leave any room for the track to breathe. And what happens is when you do that, you lose a lot of stereo imagery.
Right.
So it's just, everything just starts to sound flat. And here's another problem with plugins and computers. Once something that's good comes out, everyone starts using it.
Right.
So what was great about the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s is that every studio had different gear in it.
That's right.
Everybody wasn't using 1176 blackface compressor.
Right.
Some people were using LA2As. Some people were using some old Neve stuff.
Right.
So, and everybody didn't have the same consoles.
Right.
So each studio had a different sound to
Right.
it. Now everybody's got the same 10 plugins.
Yeah.
They put them on the same song because the record companies like that sound. Everybody does. Me, I don't do that. I'm like, what I want to make it sound as much like the 80s as possible. Purposely. I don't care about anything new, really. I really don't.
I one of the things that one of the many things that I really appreciate about your songs that you put on there is that, and I think I was saying this to you earlier, these songs, the way you put them together, can live with you for like the next 5, 10, 15 years.
Why not?
25, 30 years, the way that those songs that we grew up with that inspire us to this day have. Right. There's got to be a reason why that is. First, it just sonically allows us to love these songs that long because we're not, suffering this fatigue from this balls to the wall, mastering that's going on now. You actually there's like an ebb and flow to the sound and the frequencies that we're taking in, if you will.
And it's going to be real familiar to your ear. The best compliment I've had is like somebody like the Shiny Be Fresh stuff. Somebody said, your music makes me think that I missed this track in the 80s. Did I miss this in the 80s?
I just said, was it the album between Purple Rain and Around the World? That's Shaun right there.
I'm trying to get it. And in the studio, we've figured out ways to do it, but live, I think there's a whole another element to it because, you got some bad cats in the band. I mean, just like freaking insanely talented dudes in the band.
You are truly blessed, man.
So I'm blessed, man. I get to go out and play with these dudes, and we take the songs and we take them different places. Yeah, live. Like the ballad, we stretch. The ballad becomes like a freaking like a 80s rock ballad almost when we play it live.
Wow,
we can't really do that in 4 minutes for a record.
Right, right.
But live, we just stretch it, man. We just stretch it. We jam on that thing, and people are like, Who closes the show with the slow song? We do.
It's because you guys are badasses.
Because these dudes are bad.
Shaun, congratulations on this, man.
Thank you so much,
You
bro.
guys
Appreciate
are awesome.
You.
What you're doing.
Appreciate
Black
you.
Stone
God bless
Funk
you, man.
Revival. The EP is out there. You guys get out there and get it. It's on all the platforms and stuff.
Blue Tears. Blue Tears.
That's the jam right there. And again, man, congratulations. And wow, best wishes on everything, man.
Thank you, sir.